Support our troops. Back our boys overseas by trying their smirking ex-commander-in-chief for crimes against humanity. Ensure their noble sacrifice for that falsely advertised, ill-considered, massive blunder is not in vain. Put their bravely sarcastic ex-defense secretary on trial for a willful negligence and blind hubris. Don't let's leave their brave young asses hanging out being picked off by twos and threes for many more years. Support our troops by demanding an education that at least can prepare them for military tasks. Charge our leaders with the looting, crime, destruction, unguarded weapons, and lost oil revenues. Try them for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of citizens and for starting bloody civil wars. Let that smirky, cocky, mission-accomplished photo op be the giant backdrop for their show trials. Convict them and make them apologize, unshaven, in handcuffs and jumpsuits, at the United Nations. Jail them, but do not forget their actions, and above all, do not ever let them forget either. Support our troops with the simple, unvarnished truth, and let them make their own decisions. Carefully document their leaders' whack and cynical propaganda about freeing long-suffering peoples. Replay that confident promise that their oil would pay for our war in light of the awful reality. Make them wander the desert, dressed in rags for many years, searching for those fictional WMDs. Back our defense effort by bringing to account the contract, waste, and fraud of their donors. Ask how a few dead-ender jihadi illiterates living in caves stymied our trillion-dollar modern-day crusade. Make them answer their own question as to whose lives are better now than they were before. Institutionalize them for making private decisions with personal saviors regarding issues of national security. Strip them naked and take their pictures cringing together, pissing themselves before savage dogs. Take away their societies, destroy their jobs, homes, and families, and then tell them to step up. Back our boys by showing their painful suffering and burials live on any media that so chooses. Put our leaders on display with the civilian dead with continuous quotes of their utter nonsense. Stop us from subsidizing those same terrorists every single time we vapidly fill our gluttonous SUVs. Waterboard that cranky old ex-VP until he himself finally chokes up some actionable intelligence. Fortify our position by condemning Rumsfeld to permanently stand in some filthy Baghdad prison. Make Bush compete live in prayer against some smelly, scowling imam for days on end, and force that old W to finally speak for himself and answer unscripted questions from real reporters. Help our boys out by isolating, quarantining, abandoning, and monitoring the Middle East. Offer all the Israelis a home and an immigration subsidy, and just get the hell out for good. End these ignoble crusades and leave the hate-filled sex to feud in that fly-ridden so-called Holy Land. Leave them to the sand and sun and flies basking in the ignorant smell of dried camel dung. Support our troops via energy independence, less military spending, and an infrastructure rebuild. Publicize how their wondrous surges all ended with our retreat and the return of sectarian killing. Stop the critical monetary hemorrhage that drains our financial lifeblood into dry desert sands. Let the evangelical Christians raise their own private armies if they still need to wage holy wars. Cage Wolfowitz and rove down at Guantanamo with the rest of their unlawful combatants. Have George explain before the cameras how God privately counseled him into this sickening mess. Be brave like our boys and quit trembling over those made-up-for-TV boogeyman lead stories. Make them pay dearly for stupidly offering up a nation rich in petroleum to immoral terrorists. Force them to finally listen to those who dared say an invasion would invite in the jihadists.